Oh, that's going to stick for far too long.
Dayson Torgerson, head coach Mike Mendoza, Gus Dalton, the sandbagger. Coach, just kind of a quick recap of the regional tournament on Saturday up at Western. You get 5 national qualifiers, which is second in the whole region. Just talk about the guys' performance.
Yeah, guys obviously performed really well. Started off not maybe that well. I think we had 7 matches in the first round, and we went 2-5. So not a great start, but it's a tournament. You got to wrestle the whole time, and through the whole tournament, and guys bounced back and did extremely well. So yeah, 5 qualifiers, awesome. Certainly maybe could have had another one in there. But yeah, you always look back and think that way maybe, but guys wrestled well, really well. So proud of the performance, and it's a tough tournament. It's a grind. It's not easy to qualify out of our region. And so, yeah, just testament to these guys and hard work they put in. And yeah, it was awesome.
And me and the group were talking just yesterday or earlier today, maybe. We talked about altitude a lot the last time we were in here. Did that play a role? You lose to some of those lower altitude schools early, like you said, 2-5 in the first 7 matches, and then you get those rematches later in the day, and they were all lopsided victories. Do you think the altitude played a role in that?
I mean, maybe it did. I think just Owen Klein comes to mind, but he got caught. He's up 7-1 or something along those lines, and got caught and came back on the backside and got a technical fall. So that was good. And then same thing, Castaneda. Yeah, I think he just. I look at it. They wrestled better. They wrestled better, and maybe altitude played a factor. I'm not quite sure, but I think too, when you wrestle a guy on the front side and you lose to him on the backside to beat him again, for them, it's a lot tougher. I think in the same tournament. So yeah, I think the guys just turned it on and a little bit more and wrestled well on the backside.
Dayson, for you, come away the champ of 125 pounds. You had probably one of the toughest days, but probably the most rewarding in the end. You wrestle against 3 guys that are nationally ranked, 1 guy below you, 2 guys ahead of you, and you end up on the right side of all of them. Just talk about the day and the performance in the end.
Yeah, I just took one match at a time, went out there to have fun. Coach Bo made sure that I was out there looking to just score points and have fun and just win a match. It doesn't matter how bad I beat them, just win at the end. And then they just got in scrambles on a few, and I guess don't scramble with me.
Well, according to the broadcasters, they kept saying he's a hammer on top. He's a hammer on top. Just talk about once you get that takedown and being able to work your tilts and other pinning combinations from the top.
Yeah, riding on top, just work to get that ride time point and get near fall. You turn a guy, that separates you and then the match by far. Puts you a lot ahead, and it gasses a guy too, takes energy out of him, and that's why I like riding on top and putting as much effort as I do. Makes him tired.
Yeah. Then Gus, for you, we joked earlier about sandbagging this year, but you might have had your best day of wrestling here at Colorado Mesa on Saturday. With coming through and just coming up just a little short, maybe. If you had just a few more seconds there in regulation, you get a takedown. Just talk about your performance in qualifying for your second national tournament.
I mean, like you guys said, sandbagging this year. I mean, it's tough after a year like I've had. Just going to that regional tournament and feel like I'm going to do good. I mean, I asked all my coaches afterwards, where'd you actually think I was going to finish? Because I don't think anyone would have written me in as a finalist there, but I had myself written in there. That's the biggest thing is I believed in myself. I knew I could get it done. Postseason is the season that matters. I mean, I had my semifinals opponent that this is the 4th time I wrestled in this year. And I just knew I had to turn it on and make sure that I score first and I don't leave any doubt that I scored first. So
I pleaded the 5th when he asked me that question.
He did plead the 5th.
No, yeah. I just will say this: like Gus is one of those guys that can compete, and he knows it, and you see it. You see earlier this year, there's been moments where he just goes out and he wrestles like he needs to. You can tell he's locked in and on the hunt is what I will say. Like, hey, you got to be on the hunt. That's when you wrestle the best. And so obviously going into a tough term, you don't know what it's gonna be like, but certainly he leveled up and wrestled, what he's capable of. So we know when you wrestle, like what you're capable of. Yeah, I mean, you should expect the results that you got. So.
And then for both you guys, you're making a return trip to the national tournament. What's something that you know now that you wish you would have known in your first trip? What's going back? What can you take from that first year being there?
I think the biggest thing for me is the memory that comes back from nationals last year. Is we get to the hotel, everything's normal, like it's just normal hotel from the inside or outside, and then you walk through those doors and it's just NCAA plastered everywhere. Like being a Division II wrestler, like it's not as as advertised as D1 possibly is, but you walk in that hotel and you realize that it's nationals. Like it just is turned on everywhere. Everywhere you go is welcome to nationals, Division II wrestlers. Like it's just everywhere. And so it starts to get at you like, oh my gosh, like I'm a college wrestler, like it's nationals, like it's time to go. And so like it does get to you. So I think that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to is having the experience of being at nationals and knowing what to expect.
Yeah, I think what I wish I knew last year was that seedings don't matter and everybody's there to make a name for themselves.
So I guess when you have a season like you did, I mean, you kind of up and down all season, and you've got to be kind of questioning what is wrong with me or why can't I get this going? But what got you mentally prepared for regionals? Because you just went out and said, "This is my tournament."
So I think it's one of the practices we did not too long before regionals, and it's something I did last year too. Is I went with Donnie Negus, like one of our qualifiers and All-Americans that is in the wrestling room with us every day, and I practiced with him pretty frequently, probably once a week, and he just puts the hammer on me. Like he absolutely just works me on top, works me on my feet. But the biggest thing is he gives me a confidence boost that just reminds me, I can stick with the best of them, and I can be ready for anything that they throw at me. And so I think that's one of the biggest things. I give him the credit.
Yeah. Coach, what do you I mean, obviously you've got a little time before you take off and getting these guys mentally, physically ready. What do you kind of go through in the next week? And then how do you get them more mentally prepared, really? Because you're not going to teach them anything new right now.
Yeah, no, it's not changing too much. I think just how we prepared for regionals, how we'll prepare for nationals. I think looking back last year, all the guys that were there for the first time. And I think just preparing them, it's different. The difference is, normally you're warming up next to your mat side, like, at a regular tournament. And that's how a little bit how regionals is. At nationals, they have you at a gate, you got to wait, there's 30 seconds. And, so you can add a little bit of pressure, like, oh, you're almost up, or hey, 30 seconds. And hey, mat 2, are you ready? And just those little differences just to be prepared. Like it's still the same. You're still going to go out, line up on that line, shake hands and start the match. And so just know it's a little different before you go out in the match. I think and these guys that have been, they've been there, so they know, but, Owen Klein, just letting them know that may be a little bit different for him, but, the other guys have been there. So I think they'll be ready.
Been to nationals before, but one new wrinkle that happens every 4 years, the festival, and go be kind of part of something a little bit bigger than your own sport. Are you kind of looking forward to that and being able to be out there with some other Maverick teams and kind of support them a little bit?
I've never been, so it'll be new for me. So, and obviously they haven't either. So, it'd be nice to see some of the teams out there, but I don't know what to expect or how it's going to be different. But we just need to keep in mind that we're going to a wrestling tournament.
That's something Dayson and I were talking about out in the hall getting ready for the interview is like we are going back to the national tournament. Like it's something that we've experienced before, and it's sort of cool to have something to look forward to. Like it's a festival, like it's something, it's not the exact same as it was last year. So like for Owen Klein, like it'll be the only national tournament he's known up to this point. But for us, it's something new, and so it'd be cool to have the comparison from last year to this year.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
Just going a day early, right?
Yep.
All right. Question of the week, kind of off topic. Interesting or obscure food you may have eaten sometime in your life, and a little backstory of how that came to be.
I guess what pops to mind is turtle soup. Never had it. We were in Mexico, and somebody made some turtle soup. Never had it. I think it maybe is illegal. I don't know. I'm not sure at the time, but that was. I don't remember it. Don't remember what it tastes like. This was many moons ago.
I would probably say alligator jerky when I was visiting Florida a couple years ago. That was a little bit interesting. So.
Haven't really, nothing out of the ordinary.
Gotta have something. No? All right. Well, thank you guys, and good luck next week.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a chicken